welcome to my YouTube channel, Plate It Plant-Based. Today we are making some barbecue sandwiches, some pulled, I guess it would be like a pulled pork or a pulled sandwich. We're using these beautiful cluster oyster mushrooms that we got from our supermarket, Whole Foods. You can find these at specialty markets like Whole Foods, or you can get them at any Asian style markets. I've seen them carry these as well. You can definitely find them loose, like, you know, cut up, but you definitely want to find them clustered. So the goal is to get them whole if you can find them whole. If you can't, there are oyster mushroom, King Oyster Mushrooms. You can use those as well. For our buns, we are using these little pretzel rolls. These are vegan. I'm also gonna make a little slaw, cabbage slaw, to go inside of our sandwich. Thinly slice some onions, and we're gonna make a quick little spread for our bun using some mustard and mayo. And that's it. So let's get started. Nifty little mandolin here. We're gonna shred up our cabbage and our onions. Again, when you use a mandolin, you want to be really careful. Mandolin usually comes with settings, so you can set it to how thick or thin you want your slices to be. This is pretty good. This is kind of what you're looking for right here. So we're gonna put that in there. And your mandolin comes with a guard, so usually once I get pretty low, I throw the guard on. I seem to be making a lot of recipes that require a lot of arm work. I think I need to start rethinking my strategy here. Do a tiny bit more, and I think we're good on our purple cabbage with an onion. I would recommend using like a sweet onion or a red onion for this recipe, but if you have yellow onion like I do, that's perfectly fine. So we got our purple cabbage and our green cabbage inside of our bowl here. Now we're just gonna add a little bit of olive oil. Just gonna dress it. I'm gonna do a little bit of our white wine vinegar. About a tablespoon and a half of white wine vinegar. Gonna do our salt, generous pinch of salt, a generous pinch of black pepper, and juice of a lemon. Add a little bit of brightness to the sandwich because we're using a barbecue sauce, so that's gonna add a lot of sweetness. So you kind of want to break up the sweetness with a little bit of pickle and acidity. So we're gonna give this a little toss. Use your hands. Look how pretty that is. Okay, we're gonna let this sit and marinate for a little while we make our mushrooms. I'm gonna grill up our mushrooms. I'm gonna show you how we're gonna grill these. We're gonna use a little bit of this vegetable oil or grapeseed oil, whatever you have. It just has a higher smoking point. Okay, so now we're gonna take these little mushrooms, just kind of set them down. This big guy. I don't like to overcrowd the pan too much, so about 3 mushrooms is good. Let's do this one. Do this with another cast iron skillet, so you can do 2 cast iron pans, one on top of the other. This is a cast iron pan as well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my cast iron lid, or you can use another cast iron pan. Basically what you want is something heavy to weigh these guys down, because we're gonna make them into steaks. Gently just rest it on top. You don't need to put too much pressure on it. That's gonna give it a little sear and crisp, and it's gonna condense the mushroom down into like a steak. So obviously if you have a cast iron pan, another cast iron pan, that's about the same size as the one you're using. It'll take up more real estate, so it'll compress the mushrooms down evenly throughout. We don't have two of the same, so we're just gonna use what we got, right? Use what you got. You're gonna have an urge to wanna flip them sooner than you're supposed to. I do that all the time. I just get so excited. Patience, my friend, patience. So the mushroom's gonna start releasing its liquid. Mushrooms carry a lot of water in them, so you just wanna let it do its thing. Once these are caramelized and we flip them, do the whole thing, we're gonna season them with a little salt and pepper. We're gonna dip them into our barbecue sauce. Now the barbecue sauce, you can use store-bought barbecue sauce, you can use whatever your favorite barbecue sauce recipe is. In this case, I'm just using good old-fashioned store-bought barbecue sauce. Nothing fancy here. That was a premature flip. I told you, you have to be patient. I struggle with patience. So once the mushroom starts to kind of cook down, now start adding a little bit of pressure to your mushrooms with either your cast iron skillet, whatever it is that you're weighing it down with. Do it right at the beginning. You risk the chance of breaking the mushrooms just because they are so gentle and sensitive that you don't want to press them down until they get nice and soft. All right, so this is kind of what you're looking for, that nice golden brown color. This one's still a little shy there. What do we got here? That's good. All right. I also have my oven preheating to 450. We are going to drench these in our barbecue sauce, put them on our sheet pan, and then throw them in the oven at 450 for, I'd say, about 20 to 25 minutes. Checking on them periodically. You want them to kind of start to like get nice and, you know, I don't know what the word is. Crusty? No, I don't think you want to say crusty. In the meantime, while we got our mushrooms going here, we're gonna start on our little sauce, our little spread, quick little sauce. I have 1 tablespoon, about 1.5 tablespoons of mustard, yellow mustard. You can use Dijon for this as well, whatever mustard you like. About 2 tablespoons of mayo. You can use store-bought mayo, or you can actually make my aioli recipe. I make a herbed aioli recipe and a baconaise. I've got that linked in the card above. Our mushrooms out of our oven. I just laid them down here on this cutting board. We're gonna give them a nice little chop throughout, and we're gonna build our sandwiches. Cut down this kind. I actually really like the little burnt ends. It almost mimics like barbecue ribs. Barbecue rib sandwich. All right, so I'm going to add a little bit of our mustard dressing on our bun. A little bit of this mustard sauce. Top bun. A little bit on our bottom bun. So take our bottom bun here. Pile on our, dropping everything. On. Our raw onions. Put those on top. Put our slaw on top of the top bun so it sticks to the bun. A little press. And bam. There you go. And doesn't that look like a barbecue rib? It's pretty good. Things you can do with mushrooms. And for more recipes like this one, don't forget to hit subscribe and that bell notification so you guys can be notified when new videos drop. See you on the next one. I'm gonna go enjoy myself a little sandwich or 3.